This is a paid advertising program.
We see it every day in the paper or on the news.
A drive-by shooting in Pulaski County tonight.
So far this year, the city has had 9 homicides.
4 suspects backed a car through the glass and tried to steal the merchandise.
Stories about crime, robberies, assaults, and senseless killings. Crimes that leave victims, their families, and the community feeling powerless. But there is a tool that protects crime victims and empowers them to take control of their lives again. Vine, your safety connection, a KARK4 special. Brought to you by the Arkansas Crime Information Center.
Hi, I'm Tracy Douglas. In the aftermath of a crime, law enforcement and other criminal justice professionals do their best to keep victims and their families up to date on custody and court matters. But even with all of their resources, victims may not get the information they need when they need it. That's where Vine comes in. Vine stands for Victim Information and Notification Every Day. It's an automated system that alerts the community about an offender's change in status. Now, whether they're being released from jail or prison or have a court date coming up. Let's take a look at how the system works and how one family's tragedy led to its development. Mary Byron was just 21 years old when she was shot and killed by a former boyfriend. Before her murder, the ex-boyfriend, Donovan Harris, was arrested for raping and assaulting Mary. Harris was sent to jail, but someone posted his bail, and days later, Mary was dead. Mary's murder raised an issue that plagued crime victims and their families. How could they be notified in advance of an offender's release from jail or prison? Well, after her death, Mary's parents worked with officials in their community to develop the nation's first automated victim notification system called Vine, Victim Information and Notification Every Day. Through a national communications center, Vine connects crime victims with critical offender and court information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Vine allows you to call anytime, from anywhere, to learn the custody status of an offender. You can also register for and receive notification if an offender is released from jail or prison, and use it to follow up on an offender's next scheduled court date. Using Vine is a simple 3-step process: information, notification, and registration. You need only a touch-tone phone or internet access. All right, joining me now is Rick Stallings, and he's with the Arkansas Crime Information Center that provides the Vine service. Rick, hi. Thanks for being here. All right, now that we know what Vine is, how do folks sign up for it?
Tracy, people or victims can go on the internet, www.vinelink.com, or they can call the 1-800 number, which is 1-800-510-0415, and register for notification.
All right, and we're going to be putting that up on the screen throughout the program, the number, and as Rick said, it's 1-800-510-0415. And you can also reach live operators for assistance, and they're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And for those that are hearing impaired, you can call 1-866-447-1298. All right, so we've told everybody what Vine is. So how does it work? Take us through the process. What would somebody do?
Okay. The person can either call the 1-800 number, or one of the easiest steps is to go online at vinelink.com. They can find Arkansas, and click on that, the state. Once they click on Arkansas, it takes them to a page where they can search and register. The tab at the top of the screen allows them to choose the search and register option for courts, parole and probation. They can search different facilities. They can put in the last name of the offender. They need to search by the first initial, preferably. It'll give them several responses. But they can go online and look and verify the information that this is the offender that is in custody at that county jail or that Department of Corrections facility. Once they choose that person, they can register for phone, email, or the hearing impaired notifications. These notifications can come in English or Spanish as well. And once they put in their information, their phone number, their PIN number, or their email address, and click register, they're signed up for notification at that point.
Okay, I got to tell you, this seems as though even this step, for somebody that's been through this horrific experience, this in itself would be a big step for them, and sometimes difficult.
Yes, it is. A lot of victims, they are hesitant about doing it, but once they get in there and they talk to the prosecuting attorneys, victim witness coordinators, and they walk them through that step, they find it a sense of relief once they know the offender is in custody still.
I wonder if therapists and help people like that would recommend that they would take this step as well, even if they're afraid to do it.
It's possible.
Yeah. Is there a fee for this?
No, the service that the state provides is free. It's free to any crime victim or any citizen of the state.
And it is anonymous? It
is anonymous.
That would be an issue, I would think, that they would be worried about.
Right. No information is sold, no information is given out. That information is confidential. We don't collect names, we collect a phone number, and that is not sold or given out to anyone.
And I think you mentioned Spanish-speaking people. What do you do for those folks?
Once the victim calls in on the 1-800 number, they're given an option or a prompt to choose either English or Spanish. They can choose the Spanish, and if at any point in time the caller or the victim wants to talk to a live operator, the live operator uses a translation service. And then we also have the hearing impaired, as you said earlier, the phone number for that, the 866 number.
I wonder, these live operators, I wonder if folks sometimes maybe tend to want to tell their story. Do they get in a conversation? I think it's interesting that you have live operators.
They do. They'll talk to them, they'll explain what's going on, and tell them why I'm using the service. I would take calls there at our office.
Have they been trained, sort of, to deal with folks?
Right.
Like
These
that?
are victim service representatives,
So
and they deal with the people.
All right. Before we go, we want to give you, again, the information. Easy to read. You said the best way to go is online.
It is easier.
We showed you that, and it looked like you've made it very easy. 1-800-510-0415 or www.vinelink.com. And again, live operators that will assist you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you're hearing impaired, 1-866-447-1298. Thanks, Rick, so much. And Rick's going to be back later in the show to answer some common questions about Vine.